there's a bit of a confusing size thing for the steam engine. So the small ones, 2 inch, 4 inch, 6 inch, the foot. So 6 inches, half inches, 4 inches, 35, so on and so forth. The confusing thing is that that's based on the engine that it came from. So if you start with a really big engine and you go small, it's still really big. So, for instance, there is a lovely one out there with a crane on the front. See how that threshing, things like that. They were obviously in showgrounds, so if you ever had the chance to see Carter's Steam Fair, they used to run the showgrounds. The trucks were used as we would use trucks these days. However, they fell by the wayside to internal combustion because on a full-size steam engine, depending on how cold it is, you're looking at it taking about 3 hours to come up to steam. So you get up in the morning, you light the fire, and then you think about maybe going to work 3 hours later. I'm convinced that's why they have so much brass on them for polishing, because it just gives you something to do while you wait for the fire to go. All of these are running on coal, except probably the steam car. The coal is a bit of a contentious subject. It's so important to keep this heritage alive that the tiny bit of CO2 we're releasing right now is nothing in comparison to keeping this alive.
I'm environmentally friendly!
So each year it's not high speed. That being said, some of the later voted road lorries and sensible road lorries do actually do respectable speed. Showman stores can actually run road trains whilst on the road. So this miniature here is a bit of an example of that. It's a very novel thing of having a scale model of the bigger engine. So later on, when you see the roller come in, you can compare it to the small engine on the back of the trailer, and you'll see that it is exactly the same. It's just much more. Some of our steam lunch, roaded them over from the Ordnance line over in Brockley, going down the top, so that if you're stuck there making a road that needs to be done and it's pouring with rain, you've at least got something over your head. But also, when you're stood up for long distances, it gives you something to hang on to, but after jiggling about for many miles, you find that your arm goes numb. It's a very odd feeling. With a lot of road-going steam engines, back when there were still horses on the road, and horse-drawn omnibuses and the like, they saw that steam was digging into the market share, so they started basically from that's where the red flag thing comes from. They have a cover over the moving parts, because they would thought that if the horses, and then this is the full size of the little kicking around on the trailer, which by some amazing coincidence is going to end up pretty much next to it as they come in. I'm going to take credit for this, so I cut up this bit. We're enjoying the out to Paris for the World's Fair. So as an agricultural machine, they generally wouldn't have lots of shiny bits on it, because all you're going to be doing is driving around fields and getting covered in muck. Because this was a show model, they put all the shiny bits on it. They look, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous engine. If you've ever tried to polish everything on there, it's suddenly one to look at is right at the top there with where the chimney is. Yes, that is brass, and yes, they did polish that, and I will leave you to figure out how they got up there. As favourites going around, you can see everything. as you've probably noticed as well, steering is done by chains. There is a lot of play in them. If you've ever taken one round a roundabout, it's great because you're cranking it one way and then you want to come off and you have to come back the other way. So that's quite fun to do, and especially with something like a steamroller where there's a load of weight on that front roll, you are turning that weight by hand. So you get rather swap rather fast. So you make sure you swap in hands constantly so you don't end up uneven. So with these engines being very expensive back in the day and obviously taking quite a lot of time for people to look after, the sign writing really picked up. So they were an effort for your business. One engine and a thresher would do all the farms. So not every farm had a tractor. Instead, the family would go around with it and would, they'd do all the farms in District Hampshire and then they'd come back. And because it was your advert, that's why you see the sign writing on it. We're very fortunate to actually have Joe Whitaker here today. He's a sign writer. He keeps that traditional art alive. I will point out his when he arrives. And some of his work is absolutely wonderful. If you get a chance, look him up on Facebook. He puts all of his stuff up on there, and he does some really, really lovely stuff. That it's moving, it's there to tell you to get up away, and it's there for them to whistle over me when I'm trying to talk to you lovely people. Pouring with rain, I was tucked in under the cover, it was warm and it was rocking gently backwards and forwards, and that was it for me, and it's been a very expensive hobby ever since. I think my wife is happy we live in a flat, or else I wouldn't have one. We've now got our last steamers just come into the ring, they're going to finish their circle up, we'll get them all to sound the whistles for you. Which is very, very loud if you'd like to put your fingers in your ears for that one. And we'll then get some of the miniatures out. Some of them are going to stay that want to give rides, and then we'll pass over to public steerage. You guys can have a go. Feel what that chain drive is like, chat to the wonderful people that maintain these machines, because they are an awful lot of work. I think you have a rubber pad that you put against the wheel. However, with the sheer mass of these things, when they start going, they are very difficult to stop. So, engineers are generally always looking a little bit ahead just to make sure that they're going on. You may have noticed that with some of the rollers, they're a little bit thinner. It's because the rollers were generally designed to be operated by one man. So, you had one man doing most things. It's a bit like rubber. Give me a whistle.
Guess that's the reverser. Got the regulator.
ultimate sporting experience. LS Euros is all about Dene Rally for anywhere.
Driving the buggy all by yourself. Well, what we're going to do. Hear the sea, eyes open wide.